guys, welcome back to my channel. Today, like I said, is going to be the Gemini video. Yes, I know, it's been a while and I said Gemini's coming up next, and coming up next, and coming up next, and it really is. I filmed it the first time, wasn't really good quality. I had to refilm it. So yes, so let's get into the video. The element of the Gemini is air. Their quality is mutable. Their colors are light green and yellow. Their day is Wednesday. Their ruler is Mercury. The greatest overall compatibility are Sagittarius and Aquarius. Their lucky numbers are 5, 7, 14, 23. Their date range is May 21st through June 20th. Their strengths are gentle, affectionate, curious, adaptable, ability to learn quickly, and exchange ideas. Their weaknesses are nervous, inconsistent, indecisive. Gemini's likes are music, books, magazines, chats with nearly anyone, short trips around the town. Gemini's dislikes are being alone, being confined, and repetition and routine. So they don't really have a routine. They're expressive and quick-witty. Gemini represent two different personalities in one. You will never be sure which one you'll face, so they are sociable and communicative and ready for fun, with a tendency to suddenly get serious, thoughtful, and restless. They are fascinated with the world itself, extremely curious, with the constant feeling that there is not enough to express everything the way everything they want to see. The sign of the Gemini belongs to the element of air, accompanying Libra, Aquarius, and this connects all the aspects of the mind. It is ruled by Mercury, the planet that represents communication, writing, and movement. People under the sun sign often have a feeling that their other half is missing, so they are forever seeking new friends, mentors, colleagues, and people to talk to. Gemini's changeable and open mind makes them excellent artists, especially writers and journalists. And their skills are flexible, make them shine in trade, driving, and team sports. This is a versatile, fun-loving sign born with the wish to experience everything there is out there in the world. That this makes their character inspiring and never boring. So the Gemini is known as the caring twins. There's so much childish innocence in the nature of Gemini, telling their tale of brotherhood, love between best friends and relatives who are entirely different by character, circumstances, physical appearance, and upbringing. They're in the world to mend differences and make them feel right. Ready to give their life for a brother or a friend. Gemini loves love and sex fun, is always ready for an intellectual challenge. Gemini sees love first, though. Sees love first, though. Communication and verbal contact. I meant like through communication and verbal contact, sorry. And find it as important as physical contact with their partner. When these two combine, obstacles all seem to fade inquisitively. They are ready to flirt. A Gemini could spend a lot of time with different lovers until they find the right one who is able to match their intellect and energy. They need excitement, variety, and passion. And when they find the right person, a lover, a friend, or someone to talk to, combined into one, they will be faithful and determined to always treasure their heart. So the Gemini's love and sex aspect is fun, always ready for an intellectual challenge. Gemini sees love first through communication and verbal contact, and find it as very important as physical contact with a partner. When these two combine, obstacles all seem to fade inquisitively and always ready to flirt. A Gemini could spend a lot of time with different lovers until they find the right one who is able to match their intellect and energy, like I said. They need excitement, variety, and passion. And when they find the right person, a lover, a friend, or someone to talk to combined into one, they will be faithful, determined, and always treasure their heart, like I said. Again, the biggest challenge for any Gemini's love life is to find the emotion that lasts, especially as they get older and realize that they are already in a repetitive mode or superficial or disappointing bonds. The personality does not allow much depth, or they are on the mission to separate information, not to dig into them and to find mistakes and holes and resolutions they make at life from a relative perspective of movement, being one to the circle of the sun, moving forward and backwards from the earth, point of view, never certain of their own direction. Gemini might make sharp turns, leaving those who love them behind, but there are partners that could follow in their pace, ready to build a loving foundation through time, and they find them by choosing signs to match Gemini. The Gemini's friends and family. So their friends aspect. Those born with their sun in the Gemini are very social and love to spend time with friends, family, especially its younger members. The Gemini has an abundance of social contacts and loves to chat, search for understanding, always looking for strong-willed people to communicate with without clear, full of words spoken. They're quickly interested in the entire theme of any conversation. They need to stay on the move, feeling inspired and pushed forward by the information shared. The family's aspect of the Gemini. The family is very important to the Gemini, especially their children. Once they build a strong emotional bond with them, lack of stability they show to their partners, with their expectations extremely high, do not reflect on family as much, and they seem to have a more modest and calm approach to those shared. A home with, although the responsibilities carried by the family life can stand to be a challenge for their nature, they will find a magical way to be in two places at once, getting everything done just as they are supposed to. The Gemini's career and money, it's constant need of intellectual stimulation. The most suitable job for a Gemini has to be challenging to the brain. They're skillful, inventive, often very smart, with the need for a dynamic working environment and a lot of social contacts met in the office. The best careers that can choose are those of traders, inventors, writers, orators, preachers, and lawyers. But any career that gives them the opportunity to communicate freely while keeping them on the move and busy at all times is an excellent choice, as if they were created for multitasking, problem solving, and bringing new ideas to life. They need a workplace that won't keep them stuck in routinely repetitive tasks that don't allow them to shine. Deciding between practically and pleasure can be a difficult choice for Gemini, even though they believe that money is just a necessary evil. Most of them will not spend much time thinking where to earn it or how to spend it. They need strong grounding to keep their finances in check and organized, giving them a sense of confidence and secrecy they often do not even know they need. Then the history of the Gemini. So, as other signs in the Zodiac, Gemini is not the same position as a constellation of Gemini. In the Zodiac, it follows Taurus and takes third 30 degrees of the zodiacal circle. Gemini is a mutable sign that is preceding the summer. If you hear, like, moving in the back, it's a dog. What are you doing, Baba? Yeah, she likes to lie there, but it's weird. Gemini is immutable. Yeah, what was I saying? 30 degrees to the sign. Gemini is a mutable sign that is preceding the summer and as much it announces change while ruling the time and year of the Taurus, spring has ended, the life of the earth is about to change. Um, Spring is dying down, the preparations are done for summer and take over the beginning of the Cancer year because he mentions that he's observed an oculating a star in Gemini and speaks in observing Jupiter in conjunctions with it. Uh, in the Babylonian astronomy, these stars were known as the Great Twins and regarded as minor gods. So, I don't know how to. I'm gonna butcher this because I don't know how to say it. I'm so sorry. But if you all know how to say it, just comment it down below. But Mash Alametaya, the one who has arisen from the underworld, and Lugalaria, the mighty king. Yeah, I butchered this so bad. I don't really know how to say them because they're Babylonian stuff. But this constellation is located between Taurus at the west and Cancer at the east. It is special because the twins from Greek mythology were not represented only by constellation, but by actual stars, which mark the twins' heads in it. Pollux is the brightest star in Gemini and is orange-hued giant star. Castor is the second brightest star in this constellation in a sextuplet star system, which appears as a blue-white star of the Under-Eyed. So the myth of the Gemini. The myth of the Gemini is a myth of Castor and Pollux, son of Zeus and Leda. Leda was the wife of Tyndareus, king of Sparta. One of the versions of the myth states that Leda got seduced by Zeus disguised as a swan. On some night when she shared a bed with her husband, as a result, she hatched 2 eggs from which 4 children were born, mortal or immortal, for they have different fathers, and among them Castor Pollux. Castor was a mortal twin brother of Pollux, was mortal, and they never fought and loved each other greatly. Pollux is known as his boxing skills, and Castor was a horse tamer. Brothers aspired to marry 2 women who are already betrothed to 2 of their cousins. This leads to a family feud, and Castor was fatally wounded by one of the cousins as a consequence. Zeus gave a choice to Pollux to spend every day as an immortal at Mount Olympus among the gods, or give half of his immortality to his brother Castor. He opted for the latter, and the twins shared life and death by spending the day of Olympus together, followed the day at Hades and the underworld. The second story is connected to the birth of the twins, in which they weren't really Leda's sons, but the version of the myth. Zeus fell in love with Nemeus, who was a spirit of the divine retribution against those who scummed and hubris, arrogance before God, basically. She represented inavailability of fate, and those of who were godlessly and evil. Zeus started chasing her, acting on strong attractions. He left. He started changing shapes and escaped him, and when she transformed into a goose, Zeus found her, become a swan himself, and mated with her passionately. As a result, 2 eggs hatched, found by Leda in a swamp, and she calmed them as her own. The connection between the Gemini myth and the Gemini zodiac sign. This myth reminds us of sincere brotherly love can manifest through love for a brother or friendship that is so close that it feels like brotherhood, and it tells about 2 people who don't care about their differences and are prepared to do anything for each other. They could have trouble with women who already have men in their life, or we can certainly see pictures of 2 men fighting over a woman. If one of them gets badly hurt, it is it is to be expected that the other one will give an anything to help him. The sign of the constellation of Gemini represents a link of heaven and the underworld, and can represent someone's near-death experience or any sort of intense contact with death. Behind the main story, there is a face of Sooth that shows a father who presents himself as something he is not. Only to seduce their mother. It is truly challenging position. We can see brothers born or adopted, children whose mothers left them like in a swamp. The second version of the myth tells us about overcoming an the chase for beating inevitability, and almost present in the sign of Gemini. So that's all about the Gemini. So until next time, I would like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you know when I upload. And the next video up will be the Sagittarius, and yeah. But really, guys, please comment what you would like me to upload, like ideals, and please subscribe. It would mean a lot. But until next time, bye!